All right, welcome to our three-part series on building your trading plan. Goal here for us is to show you what we do here a bit, show you how I'm building a trade plan for me that works. You've got to build your own according to your own tastes, your own style, and your own comfort level, your risk levels. So let's jump in on the trade plan, getting started here, and let's take a look here on part one. So there are really six main components of building a trade plan. The first component is identifying what your goals are. How much are you willing to make? Where do you want to go? What's your goal in life? What's your goal as a trader? What are your goals? For me, the next section then we get into is Greeks. I want to lay out what my two main Greeks are, and that's my theta and delta components. We're going to dive into those a little deeper. Then I want to identify my risk levels. Everybody is different. Some of you may be closer to retirement. Some of you may be just getting going in trading. But I really want to identify how much risk am I willing to take, and what are my rules for risk as well, which leads us right into the next phase here of what are the actual trade rules that you're willing to follow. If you watch NCIS and you got the Gibbs rules there that he's always quoting, rules that he doesn't really ever break. Well, that's the same for us. I'm going to identify trade rules here that I'm really never, ever going to break. And if I do, shame on me. That's usually when it leads to something going awry and going sideways, honestly, because they broke a rule. And rules are meant to keep you within the on the rails, should I say. And then we're going to get into sizing, how to size by strategy the different areas of your portfolio. So I'm going to talk about position sizing and strategy sizing more than anything. Then lastly, I'm going to get into all the different strategies that I'm using inside my portfolio. Doesn't mean I won't add more, but I won't add them to my actual trade plan until I've vetted them, tested them out, and feel confident in them to use as a strategy. So there is a spec trade component of the portfolio. We'll talk about that, and that's really where some of these strategies may start before they grow and evolve into something else. But your trade plan is always evolving. The market conditions are always evolving. You've got to be able to trade and change with the times as a trader. So let's look at these different trade plan components, and let's start off with goals. So these are the goals that I have in my trade plan. You need to identify your specific goals. The goal in my trading account is I'm looking for 3% monthly or a 36% annual return. That's my trading account goal. Last year we hit 80-some% in that account, so we blew it away by over 2 times that amount. But my minimum that I'm always shooting for is 3% monthly. I feel pretty confident in what I can do to hit 36% a year. So every raising my income level or raising my portfolio size by 33 to 36% a year is always my goal. However, saying that, those percentages, I really focus on monthly dollars and not my percentage. Even though 3% monthly is the goal in the account, my focus is on generating the cash to meet that goal. So if $7,500 is the monthly 3% goal, then my focus is on getting to $7,500 however I have to, not worrying about the individual percentages of all of the different trades I have. I need to hit that cash flow amount there. Another goal of mine is I want to stay close to delta neutral. We are going to talk about delta in a little bit here too, but I want to be close to delta neutral so that I'm not massively affected if the market swings one direction or another. May have a slight bias on to the up or downside depending on the market, but that's my goal, is to be as close to delta neutral as possible, and I'll identify what that looks like. I want to focus on strategies that are consistent, mechanical, and repeatable. That whole CMR is really the key for me. Is it a strategy that I can put on consistently Is it something that's easily repeatable? And for me, I want to keep it very mechanical based. I don't want to have a lot of discretion in my trading. I'm very mechanical based. I trade fairly robotically. Can that hurt you at times? Potentially, but for the most part, I find that really keeps you out of trouble when you stick mechanically to your entry, exit, and your adjustments. They're mechanical. They don't give you a whole lot of room for error. Stick to it, and I find that you really minimize any losses that you may have, and you maximize the gains on those strategies. And then lastly here, I don't want to spend every day looking at a screen for 8 hours a day and doing research for hours at night and so forth. I got a life, and I want to keep it that way. So I will review my accounts daily. I'll make any necessary trades and adjustments, and then I move on to enjoy life. Okay, I prefer to be at the beach, be at the pool, be on the boat, and not spending the entire day staring at a screen trying to find the latest swing trade or short trades or figuring out what the Fed or market's going to do. I really want to make sure that I've got a strategy and an entire trade plan that allows me to put in, maybe minimal time. It doesn't mean no time, but minimal time so I can enjoy life. And if I need to take a couple days off, I'm not worried about having to watch what's going on. I don't have a lot of zero DTE stuff that I got to be glued to, even though I do some of those trades at times. If I'm heading on vacation, I don't want to have a lot of short-term trades I got to focus on. I really want to make it easy for me to exist and enjoy life. So keep it simple. Make sure it's all about the probabilities and the strategies, and keep it moving. So let's talk about Greeks now. So I'm going to just focus on two Greeks, Theta and Delta. So Theta, which is the measure of price decay as time passes. That's a driving force for me. I am a Theta trader. I am a premium seller. That's what I do. That's how I choose to trade. I'm not interested in buying a lot of long anything out there. I'm a Theta trader more than anything. So for me, Theta, I look for about 4.4% of my net lick in Theta. That's my goal. How do I arrive at that piece? Well, my goal, let's just say, is, again, 3% a month. Well, let's say you had a $100,000 account here. So on a $100,000 account, as we go through these, and I got a little typo in there, but on a $100,000 account, my goal is $3,000. Okay, so my goal is $3,000 a month. Okay, that's my 3%. Now, to hit $3,000 a month, that would mean $100 a day is what I'm looking to get. So if I need to make $100 a day, we're going to assume, and based upon some Tasty Trade research that they've done, that you actually end up collecting around 25% of daily Theta as your actual capture rate. So if I need to collect $100 a day, essentially, roughly, in my Theta, that means I need to have a $400 Theta a day. If I only collect 25% of that on average, that's going to give me my $100 a day, my $3,000 a month, my 3% per $100,000 account. So in order to do that, I need to make sure that my delta is around 400 on a $100,000 account, which again is 0.4% of the net lick. So that's how I arrive at that number. That's my goal, is to drive Theta around that number. It can get a little bit higher. If it gets lower, I need to start evaluating what I'm doing. I also want to keep my Theta Delta ratio about 1 to 2. So I want about 2 Theta for every Delta. So let's talk about Delta now as well. I want to keep my Delta to really never more than plus or minus $200 for every $100,000 account, which again is about a 0.2% of my net lick maximum. Okay, that's the maximum delta I really want in my account. So if I've got a $100,000 account, I want my delta to be either, somewhere between plus and minus 200. Okay, that's it. I have a neutral bias. I'd like to stay neutral. I don't want to get too high, too low. If the market starts to swing higher and I've got negative delta, I really don't want a ton of that. If the market drops suddenly, I don't want to have a ton of positive delta. I want to stay as delta neutral as possible. So again, keeping that 2-to-1 theta to delta ratio, plus keeping me as delta neutral as possible, that's where I like to keep it. So about 0.2% of net lick is the maximum, plus or minus, that I'll do. Based on any market conditions, that can change the bias slightly to coincide with the market. If the market is in a solid bullish trend, then, and depending on where we are, if I feel we're getting overbought, I want to get some negative delta. Potentially doesn't mean I'm going to go to negative 400 for on a $1,000 account or exceed the 0.2, but maybe I want to be negative by a little bit. If we are, oversold, then maybe I want to get some, be more positive on it. But I'm beta weighting my deltas to SPY, and I really want to keep it around that 2% of the net lick maximum. And then the last thing we'll talk about today in this first part is risk. So here's some of my risk rules that I have. Never risk more than 2% of my total portfolio on any new trade. 2% is my max loss. If you've got a $100,000 account, okay, I'm not risking more than $2,000 on that. That's my max loss. Okay, I need to have it in my strategy. If a $2,000 max loss is it. If I have a $200,000 account, I won't risk more than $4,000 as my max loss. Never go into a trade looking at profits first. I look at the max loss. I will size based upon max loss and look at the trade to make sure it makes sense. I don't look to see how much money I can make. I look to see how much money I could lose and size appropriately. Another risk rule for me is never invest more than 30% of my portfolio in any one strategy. Now, I use a variety of different strategies. I'm big on the 1-1-2 trades that I had created. I'm big on strangles on futures. I'm big on leap puts and some other trade strategies. I don't want to go all in on any one strategy, so I won't invest more than 30% of my portfolio, buying power-wise, in any one strategy. So if I want to buy a new position, and I'm at that 30% maximum of the portfolio in any one strategy. And really, when I say 30% of my portfolio, I'm really talking about 30% of the buying power that I'm allocating. So maybe it's a little, could word it a little bit better, but it's 30% of the buying power that I will risk, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. But if I'm at that 30% area, I'll have to weed something out. Something has to go before I can add something new. I'm not going to go over 30% of my portfolio, or really 30% of my buying power that I will use. And speaking of that, 50% is the max buying power that I will use in my account. I trade mostly futures, so I have to account for span margin when things drop that can significantly rise up. The larger your portfolio, the easier it is to handle span margin. When you've got a $10,000, $20,000 account, you're probably going to want to stick around 30% of BP, because span margin can really hammer a small account. If you've got a much larger account, $200, $300, $400 million more, what have you, then that 50% rule is a little easier to take, because span margin won't affect you quite as much, depending on what you have on. And then lastly, never have more than 75% of my total portfolio invested at any given time overnight. Again, I said 50% my max BP with span margin. Sometimes you can exceed that. And I might exist there for a couple of days or so as I make adjustments or watch the market and get a sense for what's going on. But I certainly won't let it get to more than 75% there. So those are some of the rules that I put in place. Some things you can think of when you're putting your trade plan together. So again, we want to look at the keys here when you build your trade plan. Okay, what are your goals? What Greeks do you want to follow? And and what risk levels do you want to put on, and then what are your particular rules there. So next session, we're going to cover my specific trading rules. I've got a good number of trading specific rules that I will never break. We're going to get into position sizing in the next video. And then in the third video of this series, we're going to get deep into the strategies that I employ. So stay tuned over the next couple of days. We're going to have all three of these components of the trade plan out for you. And then I will actually run through my actual trade plan and account, show you how things are set up right now. All right, I appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, certainly feel free to drop those here below. If you like this video and you want to see more like this as well, please like this video, subscribe. We'll be happy to put more content out for you. All right, have a great rest of your day. Great trading to everybody, and have a fantastic rest of your weekend as well.